we see cars, there was a breach that was reported recently on an internet-connected stuffed animal. So how do you evaluate those kinds of risks compared to mobile or cloud?
I mean, that was a low blow. Like, who would hack kids? I don't know. On the car side of things, so 2 years ago now, my co-founder Kevin and Mark Rogers, one of our colleagues, and I contributed to some work on the Tesla. We hacked the Tesla and found zero-day vulnerabilities in the device. And when we talk about it now, these connected devices, the Tesla is basically a smartphone and batteries on wheels. Like that, it's this incredibly powerful computational environment. That's the big breakthrough if you've been inside one, and then also the nature of the electric components that drive it. And what we found was it looks a lot like exploiting a traditional mobile device. And there's this saying about the smartphone subsidy. And what happened was when you had so much investment go into the mobile device ecosystem, a whole bunch of derivative technologies came out of it, whether that's chips, whether that's screens, whether that's radios, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth or cellular radios. All that investment has led to a whole host of innovation in IoT, in connected cars, and VR. All those things can be traced back to the smartphone subsidy. And what that says is a lot of the techniques that go into exploiting a mobile device actually are somewhat applicable, not always directly, but at least indirectly in attacking those. And most of these devices are connected. So what we found is once we had access to the device, it was pretty cool. We could unlock the doors, open all the doors. Could you steer it off the road? Could you deploy the airbags? I mean, it's pretty interesting to think about the implications. And the thing I'll say that was the greatest learning for anyone who's building IoT devices or responsible for securing them was it wasn't about the vulnerabilities themselves. Back to my earlier point, it was about how quickly Tesla responded. So you take two examples. You had Chrysler, not to pick on them, Charlie Miller did some research. I think it was on a Jeep, if I recall. And they recalled a significant number, maybe over 1 million vehicles. And as I understand it, they had an update where they had to actually send out thumb drives, and users actually had to update themselves, which that would never happen. When we disclosed the vulnerabilities, Elon was personally involved at a technical level. They published an over-the-air update within 4 days. They patched the devices within 4 days. And that's the difference in kind of this modern threat landscape of being secure or insecure, is how quickly can you respond and patch, and do you have the infrastructure and architecture to respond to the vulnerabilities, because they will happen. And we were frankly blown away. We were extremely impressed with Tesla's response capabilities.